As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female. This week I will reinstate any service members who were unjustly expelled from our military for objecting to the COVID vaccine mandate with full back pay. And I will sign an order to stop our warriors from being subjected to radical political theories and social experiments while on duty. It's going to end immediately. Our armed forces will be free to focus on their sole mission, defeating America's enemies. Like in 2017, we will again build the strongest military the world has ever seen. We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into. My proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier. That's what I want to be, a peacemaker and a unifier. I'm pleased to say that as of yesterday, one day before I assumed office, the hostages in the Middle East are coming back home to their families. America will reclaim its rightful place as the greatest, most powerful, most respected nation on earth, inspiring the awe and admiration of the entire world. A short time from now, we are going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and we will restore the name of a great president, William McKinley, to Mount McKinley, where it should be and where it belongs. President McKinley made our country very rich through tariffs and through talent. He was a natural businessman and gave Teddy Roosevelt the money for many of the great things he did, including the Panama Canal, which has foolishly been given to the country of Panama after the United States. The United States, I mean, think of this, spent more money than ever spent on a project before and lost 38,000 lives in the building of the Panama Canal. We have been treated very badly from this foolish gift that should have never been made, and Panama's promise to us has been broken. The purpose of our deal and the spirit of our treaty has been totally violated. American ships are being severely overcharged and not treated fairly in any way, shape, or form, and that includes the United States Navy. And above all, China is operating the Panama Canal, and we didn't give it to China, we gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back. Above all, my message to Americans today is that it is time for us to once again act with courage, vigor, and the vitality of history's greatest civilization. So as we liberate our nation, we will lead it to new heights of victory and success. We will not be deterred. Together we will end the chronic disease epidemic and keep our children safe, healthy, and disease-free. The United States will once again consider itself a growing nation, one that increases our wealth, expands our territory, builds our cities, raises our expectations, and carries our flag into new and beautiful horizons. And we will pursue our manifest destiny into the stars, launching American astronauts to plant the stars and stripes on the planet Mars. Ambition is the lifeblood of a great nation, and right now our nation is more ambitious than any other. There's no nation like our nation. Americans are explorers, builders, innovators, entrepreneurs, and pioneers. The spirit of the frontier is written into our hearts. The call of the next great adventure resounds from within our souls. Our American ancestors turned a small group of colonies on the edge of a vast continent into a mighty republic of the most extraordinary citizens on earth. No one comes close. Americans pushed thousands of miles through a rugged land of untamed wilderness. They crossed deserts, scaled mountains, braved untold dangers, won the Wild West, ended slavery, rescued millions from tyranny, lifted billions from poverty, harnessed electricity, split the atom, launched mankind into the heavens, and put the universe of human knowledge into the palm of the human hand. If we work together, there is nothing we cannot do and no dream we cannot achieve. Many people thought it was impossible for me to stage such a historic political comeback. But as you see today, here I am. The American people have spoken. I stand before you now as proof that you should never believe that something is impossible to do. In America, the impossible is what we do best. From New York to Los Angeles, from Philadelphia to Phoenix, from Chicago to Miami, from Houston to right here in Washington, D.C., our country was forged and built by the generations of patriots who gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. They were farmers and soldiers, cowboys and factory workers, steel workers and coal miners, police officers and pioneers who pushed onward, marched forward, and let no obstacle defeat their spirit or their pride. Together they laid down the railroads, raised up the skyscrapers, built great highways, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and triumphed over every single challenge that they faced. After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history. With your help, we will restore America, promise, and we will rebuild the nation that we love, and we love it so much. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. So to every parent who dreams for their child, and every child who dreams for their future, I am with you, I will fight for you, and I will win for you. We are going to win like never before. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. In recent years, our nation has suffered greatly, but we are going to bring it back and make it great again, greater than ever before. We will be a nation like no other, full of compassion, courage, and exceptionalism. Our power will stop all wars and bring a new spirit of unity to a world that has been angry, violent, and totally unpredictable. America will be respected again and admired again, including by people of religion, faith, and goodwill. We will be prosperous. We will be proud. We will be strong, and we will win like never before. We will not be conquered. We will not be intimidated. We will not be broken, and we will not fail. From this day on, the United States of America will be a free, sovereign, and independent nation. We will stand bravely. We will live proudly. We will dream boldly, and nothing will stand in our way because we are Americans. The future is ours, and our golden age has just begun. Thank you. God bless America. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, performing America the Beautiful, please welcome the Armed Forces Chorus and Carrie Underwood.
You know the words, help me out here. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good
Okay, welcome back. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Business Talks. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. In today's video, I don't know why my camera is acting like this. It looks crazy. In today's video, we're going to discuss inauguration time. Donald Trump is back. He is officially sworn in as the 47th president, and we are going to talk about it. They had to make sure that he was sworn in at 12 o'clock, and they was running, I think, behind because they moved everything indoors, I guess because of the weather. There were some protests, but not as much as it was his last inauguration. But yeah, it's Donald Trump is officially now the president of the United States. Another thing that we're going to discuss today, this past week, Trump had some, celebrational things going on. He invited Nelly, Snoop Dogg was invited, Carrie Underwood was invited to these celebrations, and some other entertainers. And now, the liberal always be living it up. I don't know what you could say about them. So they're extremely mad that these people, Nelly and Snoop Dogg and Carrie Underwood, decided to go and celebrate or perform at Donald Trump inauguration parties. I think it's really ridiculous, especially for Black folks to say, oh, we're not a monolith. And as soon as a person proves that they're not a monolith, you want to cancel them. To me, it's totally ridiculous. But Nelly was on the Willie Do show and he had a great response. So I'm going to play that for you. And we got much, much more on today's episode of a Business Talk. So you guys stay tuned.
Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad. Looks a little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad.
You guys put in the chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. Please put in the chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. I see we have Celeste Hodges. Celeste Hodges, hello from Texas. What a great day. Woke up so happy. Me too, Celeste. I think it is an awesome day. Justin Thompson is in the building. Good afternoon to you. Clarence, yes, Lord, finally. Finally, we get some normalcy back into the White House. We do not have to actually deal with the craziness or being force-fed the craziness. We'll still have to deal with craziness. But as far as if you don't watch mainstream media, you won't be force-fed of the nonsense, okay? Because it's no longer in the White House. I'm so happy. Justin Thompson, hello again. If you guys don't tune in to my morning show, it is on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at my other channel, or on my other channel. It's called Unpopular Opinion with my co-host, Miss Super Producer. She's co-producer and co-host for that show. So you guys tune in if you're online. Even if you're driving, you could tune in while we're driving, because we talk about a plethora of things during that show. Tyrone Price is in the building from South Carolina. He's saying, I was just listening to Candace Owens' show. Noble Young is in the building. Girls move out the way. He's my man. Yes, that is so true. Jim C is in the building. Thank you for tuning in, Jim C. Let's see who I love my ad block tuning in from Germany. Yep, just like the military ceremonies, all jacked up. Yeah, I mean, that Carrie Underwood debacle, she didn't even sing the full song because she didn't have the music, I guess. And maybe, sometimes when you sing, you can't remember the words until you hear the music to cue you up to kind of guide you along. So that's probably what happened. And yeah, you're totally right. Somebody's going to get chewed out later on for jacking up that performance, and no telling how much they paid her to perform. Anyway, Justin Thompson, thank you for dropping the link for the other channel. Like you said, you guys go and click the subscribe button to that other channel. Click the subscribe button to this channel. Comment, like this video, share this video, like right now. Share it on your Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you got to share it. Just share this channel because it helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Okay, so we're going to get to our first topic, and if is of course is the inauguration. I did want to talk about TikTok really quick, and then I want to talk about some of the pardons that Joe Biden kind of last minute pardon. This actually this morning, was early this morning, he put on the pardon list. So let me just share this tab with you. I To me, I think it's kind of hypocritical for a person say, oh, we champion free speech, you should let me feel the way I should feel. If I feel like a cat, I should feel like a cat, and you should accept me. If I feel like a woman, you should accept me. If I, whatever my choices are, you should accept me for who I am. This is what the liberal left will tell you. You should accept me for who I am. But when you decide to go a different route, other than what they like, now they don't want to do no liberty and justice for all. It's like, damn you to hell, we're canceling you. And this is what they're doing to Carrie Underwood. They're saying opinion. Carrie Underwood, I guess she has a big support of the LGBT community. And I'm assuming that they are saying, oh, shame on you, Carrie Underwood. How dare you perform at Trump's inauguration? It's you shouldn't do this because you're supposed to be doing what we tell you to do. Okay, we support you. You have to do what we tell you to do. And it says the business sense behind Carrie Underwood's MAGA makeover. Underwood's LGBTQ fans once adopted her Single Love Wins as a affirming anthem. How times have changed. You know what? I would like to think Carrie Underwood always been conservative. I think she's a conservative person. Somebody probably tried to paint her as something else, but I don't think so. I don't think so. She's married. I think isn't she married to a country music star, or like a hockey player or something like that. She's married to somebody, and she had several kids, and she's always carried herself as more of a traditional woman, minus the stardom. But you don't see her out here doing crazy stuff. And it says the news that Carrie Underwood had agreed to perform. I'm sorry, I didn't know you guys didn't see that. The news that Carrie Underwood had agreed to perform American the Beautiful at Donald Trump's presidential inauguration was a shock to some of the country music star fans, her LGBTQ fans in particular. And you know what? You guys let me know if I'm wrong. Sometimes I believe that the mainstream media, they literally be making up titles. Because if you think of country music, you think of conservative people. You don't think of like, oh, these are people that's not that they don't straight to way far away from their original path. When I think of country music, I think of just good old conservative folks. That's what I think. I don't think of the LGBTQ, but maybe I'm wrong. The times has changed, so maybe I'm wrong on that note. Okay, and so who previously seen the superstar as a rare ally in the notoriously conservative genre. I am humbled to answer the call at the time when we must all come together in the spirit of unity and looking to the future. This is what Carrie Underwood said in a statement. True country music has never been exactly been a haven for queer fans, but Underwood's rare allyship in the genre made her decision to support Trump, whose own allies in the administration have been historically anti-LGBTQ. I'm not for sure if that's a true statement either. Have they really been LGBTQ, anti-LGBTQ? You guys put in the chat, maybe because they don't believe a union should be between same sex. They don't believe in same sex marriage. But you see, when Trump got in office, he didn't overturn the executive order. I think that's a thing or a misstatement or something that they shouldn't even put in there. I really don't know. You got gays for Trump. You got, and actually Trump appointed a gay person to his cabinet. So I'm not for sure the whole anti-LGBTQ. Now, is his approach, because I don't know if you guys remember when he was on the stage and he called out one of his people and he was actually gay, and he was like, oh, you don't look gay. And I think that's just being old school, because we got to remember Trump is 78. So I think that's just being old school. But anti-LGBTQ, I'm not for sure if they could say that. I don't know if that's a true statement. How can Underwood ask her queer fans to unite with people who have literally called for their eradication? See, in this article is written by MSNBC. MSNBC, soon to be separated and sold off. Okay, so this is why they are struggling for the ratings, because this sounds crazy. But anyway, so Carrie Underwood, she says, hey, I'm supporting. I think we should all come together and work for whatever. And I am going to answer the call to Donald Trump. And she didn't care really how people tried to judge her. I think she stood 10 toes down. She stood on business. She answered the call. Okay, so maybe, I don't know if she's going to ever feel the backlash of people who are going to undownload her and stop listening to her music. I highly doubt that. I'm assuming probably the percentage of people that listen to her that is mad about it is a very small percentage. Okay. So that's Carrie Underwood. In our next story, this is the same instances where you had share this tab. You had Nelly being questioned by Willie D, and they Willie D says, and I'm not playing that part, but Willie D asked Nelly, what do you say to the people that you are going to perform for quote unquote white supremacists? And this is how Nelly responded to this question.
But you was riding with me because I put on for my city, and I try to bring my city up every step of the way. I did not know you was riding with me because you thought I would ride for who you voted for. I didn't know that. I apologize. I apologize. I didn't know that I had to agree with your political choices, and I did. I don't knock the brothers and sisters that benefited from it. I don't knock the correspondents that may have gotten money to do that. I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this because it's an honor. I respect the office. It don't matter who is in office. The same way that our men and women, our brothers. Here's the thing. Okay, I get it. He did say, if you don't vote for me, you're not black, right? Oh no, that wasn't him. That wasn't him. That wasn't him. Hold on. I'm trying to think. Hold on. He did create
I know where you're going. I know where you're going.
he did create the crime bill in the 90s, which said that if nobody's allowed to change, right? See, here's the thing. So we can talk about past, but we never want to talk about our past. If we bring up, if our past get brought up in our community for a lot of what our men did, we always call it rehabilitate. Yo, these young brothers, we've been through a lot. I know I've been through a lot. If my past was what was going to prevent me from winning today.
So, and he goes to say, hey, you know, if everybody judged me on my past and what I was doing 20, 25 years ago, I wouldn't be where I'm at. You always going on the past. You're not allowed to change. So, these are true statements from Nelly. He also talked about the five boys in New York City, how Trump said, oh, they should be convicted. Well, everybody thought they should be convicted. These five boys, and everybody always bringing that thing up about Donald Trump. Oh, he put out an ad saying these guys should be convicted and, prosecuted to the fullest or whatever he said. But nobody ever brings up, like, number one, Donald Trump was not in office. Number one, he was nothing to do with political. He was just a citizen, a concerned citizen. And number two, the people that prosecuted the January, those five men, those innocent five men, were Democrats. They were Democrats. And they was forced to a confession. And these Democrats threw them behind bars because everybody thought they was guilty. So it's just like I said, let me just repeat. We are not a monolith until somebody say, oh, I'm not a monolith. I admit I'm not a monolith. What are you not monolithic about? Oh, I just agree that I think it's an honor that I should perform. He asked me to perform at the inauguration. He holds the highest office of the land. So I should honor. This is an honor for me to perform at this inauguration. And then you had Soldier Boy said, hey, you ain't going to be counting my money. No, I'm going because he offered me some money. So whatever it is, we are not monolith. But since we're not monolith, I agree with you until it's not a monolithic thing to do. We only could be not monolith only if we don't offend anybody. It doesn't make any sense. You guys make sure you hit and subscribe. Okay. Lexi is in the building. Unbroken Angel is in the building. Eric Cohen is in the building. Yeah, we're in the building, and Donald Trump is in the building. We've been unburdened by what has been. Okay, enough is enough. And I think people are tired was tired, and that's why we saw this massive change in leadership. People running our country. So let me just go to our next story. Okay, so I don't know if you guys remember this. Now, Snoop Dogg, back in the summer, this was last year, he did apologize. I don't know if it was necessarily to Donald Trump, but he did apologize for this particular statement. This was back in 2017 or something like that.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo ass niggas gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the fuck out one of you Uncle Tom ass niggas for doing it. Which one of you niggas gonna do it first? I was the one that performs for himself.
So you see Donald Trump, well, not Donald Trump, but Snoop Dogg, he made that statement. He called that person a jigaboo, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is your own personal opinion. But this really didn't age well, because now you were turning it up at Trump's inauguration. I think it was the crypto inauguration. You were burning it up on the ones and twos, and people they called you out on it. And like I said, I think a person shouldn't call out. Let me say this. I don't think it's nothing wrong with an opinion. I think you have a right to stress your own opinion. You might not agree with it. I think you have every right to do that. However, when you start name calling and that type of name calling, like they're just the lowest of the lows, and then when it comes around back to you and there's dead silence. And I'm not saying you can't change your mind, Snoop Dogg. I'm just saying, what happened to all that energy you had back in 2017? Right here. The energy is right here. Because so are you the person that, oh, you're gonna do whatever to get paid, or you just talking shit? I'm not playing the actual music, but I don't want to get copyright stricken, but this is Snoop Dogg rapping. So it's very baffling to me. People tend to throw stones, and you're mad that and you're mad that people make the decisions that they make because you don't agree with it. But when you make those same decisions, people supposed to be silenced. And I think it's really fake. Then it's like, are you being fake, or what is it? I don't understand it. And I think it's so hypocritical for liberals to act in this way. I really do. And then you had your boy, what's his name? Eric. Let me see if I can find it. He's a fake. No, let me go to this one. I think it's on Instagram. He's a fake journalist, I guess you could call it. I think I would call it, he's a fake journalist, but he's real whiny. He's real whiny. And he called out Snoop Dogg, and they were saying, oh, it's appalling. He was on CNN because they were saying, oh, he's appalling. It's just, number one, to have inauguration on Martin Luther King Day. So like, so just because Trump is not black, he can't have inauguration on Martin Luther King. That's racist. I guess because Donald Trump is supposedly a white supremacist, but then you had Obama just last week Obama just last week chumming it up with the white supremacists. I just don't understand. But these things are happening right before us, and then they're wondering why people don't trust the media. I just want to try to find that right quick. I think it's CNN. But you guys let me know what that guy name is. I forget what his name is. I thought his name was Eric something. Is it Eric? I can't think of the guy's name, right? It always slips my mind but he's real whiny. But people are calling him. Let me just share this with you. They giving here I'm is. They calling him coon. Of course, that's the number one thing that they go to. Oh, you cooning. I don't know what that is about. Oh, I never forgot Rick Ross was another one of them. Rick Ross, all them N words make me sick of our people selling out just for a damn check. Effing yes, massa ass N words, man. This is Hemi Neutron. I don't know who that is. I guess he's popular, or maybe not, because he don't got enough impressions on it. You have everybody just mad about that. To me, I think it's really ridiculous. Dedicated to New York rappers giving Fat Joe permission to disrespect Black people, and to Snoop, Rick Ross, and Nelly for bowing down to white supremacy. You have no integrity, backstabbers. This is what people are saying. I think Black folks are so fake. Y'all the fakest people on the planet Earth, because it's like you had this whole white man locked all them niggas up back in 1995, and he's releasing them. He's releasing some of these guys because I guess he's trying to right the wrongs. And then you're saying, oh, they dancing for the white man. But what were you doing? 95% of Black women voted for Joe Biden. The reason why you don't got no man now is probably because of Joe Biden. Like, come on now. It's probably because of Joe Biden. Joe Biden locked your man up. I think that's the most hypocritical stuff that we've seen so far out of Black people. We're such hypocrites because they ain't tapping and Dan's tapping for the right, I guess, white person. Or can it just be like, hey, I'm respecting the office. Maybe not, I don't agree with all the politics or the policies that he's put in place, and I'm not a registered Republican, but I do agree with some of the stuff. So why are you knocking me for? And maybe I don't even agree with any other stuff. Maybe I'm just trying to get paid, or maybe I respect the White House and I want to answer the call. That could be one of the reasons. But for Black folks, for us to say we're going to hold a particular person accountable because they decided to perform at an inauguration is completely, I think it's utterly ridiculous. I really do think it's ridiculous for us to say, "Oh no, you can't perform on this for this inauguration. You better only perform for Democrats." I think it's stupid. I really do think it's stupid. And the people are calling him sellouts. It's just like they're calling Snoop Dogg a sellout, Nelly a sellout. To me, like I said, I think it's really ridiculous, and I think it's really stupid for people to say, "Oh, you can only perform for Democrats." The Democrats that wanted to keep slavery legal. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. They wanted to keep slavery legal. And we up there saying it's okay. Like it's okay. That was a long time ago, and we want to keep slavery legal, and we wanted now everything is good now. And you have people literally melting down. A lot of Black folks. Keith Boykin. Why I kept on calling him Eric? I don't know why I thought his name was Eric whatever. Let me see if I can find that. He's such a whiny little person. He's so whiny. It's almost repulsive. And he didn't post it on Twitter. He might have posted on his Instagram. And I would like to think that okay, this is him. This is Keith Boykin. You guys let me know if you could hear this.
The Black community.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Donald Trump, the man who would refuse to rent to Black people in the 1970s, who tried to lead a lynch mob against 5 Black and brown kids in the 1980s for the Central Park case, who refused to allow Black casino workers to have a prominent place in his casinos in Atlantic City in the 1990s, who spent 5.5 years lying about Barack Obama's birth certificate in the 2000s, who came into office and then attacked Black people like Colin Kaepernick, who attacked Ruby Freeman and her daughter Shay Moss for simply doing their jobs as Fulton County election workers. You dishonor those people when you go and perform for this man who has done nothing but dishonor Black people. And just last year, he was calling Haitian immigrants, accusing them of eating cats and dogs. This is not somebody that Black people should be associated with and pretending to normalize. We should be challenging him. And it dishonors the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., whose birthday we honor on Monday to celebrate this man. It's also dishonor.
Every time I hear him speak, I just be like, oh, he's a whiny little, the B word. He whines a lot. And it's hard for me to listen to what he's talking about. It's like, oh, you're dishonored and he did this and he did that. Just say it with your chest, okay? I can't even listen to you, what your talking points, because you're whining. But anywho, and another thing about, he did mention that they said, oh, he wasn't renting to Black folks at his at the Trump Towers or wherever real estate he owned back in the 70s. They already rectified that. And they acknowledged that it wasn't Trump's fault, because it wasn't. He has a leasing company. But anyway. Farouk, thank you for tuning in. Hey, Chawanne, nice to join you today, trying to catch up with the conversation. Seems to me some people just need to stop feeding into this woke mind virus indoctrination. Exactly. Kennard the DJ, boo. He's a Marxist bootlicker. Maybe it's time for him. It's the time of the month for him. Yeah, he's always whining. Like, get over it. I saw a post this morning saying, "Oh, we congratulations, we elected a white supremacist, racist, something like that. 34 times felon. Congratulations." It's like, go get over it. He's in office. He's going to be in office for the next 4 years. Get over it. Nobody was whining about Joe Biden when he got elected, when he stole the election, because I highly doubt he got 7 more million votes than Donald Trump. Talking about he won by a landslide. Yeah, right. No, he didn't. He didn't win by no damn landslide. Anyway, so that was that. He's saying it's a dishonor for people to perform at Trump's inauguration. It's a dishonor. Okay, so over yesterday into today, early this morning, Joe Biden decided that he wanted to pardon some individuals. And he put out a statement in a press release. Did they take it down already? They moving fast. They moving fast. They don't got no statements up there. They removing all Biden statements. They don't give a shit what he talking about. Biden statements got removed. He put it up like 30 minutes ago. They removed it already. To me, that's hilarious. There was a statement. Joe Biden's let me see if I could. Okay, here's this statement. This was released this morning. It says, for immediate release, statement from Joe Biden. Let me make sure you guys could see it. Our nation relies on dedicated, selfless public servants every day. They are our lifeblood of our democracy. Yet, alarmingly, public servants have been subject to ongoing threats and intimidation for faithfully discharging their duties. In certain cases, some have even been threatened by criminal prosecutions, including General Mark Milley, Dr. Anthony Fauci, and members and staff of Select Committee to investigation the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol. These public servants have served our nation with honor and distinction and do not deserve to be targets of unjustified and politically motivated persecution. General Mark Milley served our nation more than 40 years, serving in multiple command and leadership posts and deploying to some of most dangerous parts of the world to protect and defend democracy. As chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff, he guided and armed forces through complex global security threats and strengthened our existing alliances for forging new ones. And then he mentioned Dr. Fauci lives by managing the government responses to pressing health crisis, including HIV and AIDS. That he killed a whole bunch of people during that crisis. Ebola, Zika virus during his tenure as my chief medical advisor, he helped the country tackle the once in a century pandemic. The United States safer and healthier because of him. Yeah, they more doped up because of him because he's promoting this damn vaccination and booster shot that's not even working. Anyway, and they killed a lot of people with that AIDS medicine that they came out. And it was actually, instead of extending the life of the people, it was shortening the life of the people. Okay. On January 6th, American democracy was tested with a mob of insurrectionists attacked on the Capitol, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And that's why he's pardoning Mark Milley. I'm not going to read this all the way through because right now you're full of crap. You're full of crap, Joe. Joe is full of crap. So that's what he pardoned his Dr. Fauci. Now, interesting thing about this pardon, they date back all the way to 2014. Why do you need a pardon all the way back from 2000? I could see 2017 or when the pandemic started. I could see that. But why 2014? What did you do? Now everybody's wondering, what did General Mark Milley do and what did Dr. Fauci do back in 2014 that you had to extend a 10-year pardon from 2014 to 2024? Nobody knows. I think everybody's wondering now, okay, so this guy is really, or these guys are real criminals. So he decided to pardon these people. They took it down from the White House. His statement is already gone. If you don't get it on Facebook or Instagram or X, you're not gonna get it. So y'all better make a screenshot. But he pardoned other people as well. Joe Biden's last minute pardon. I believe he pardoned some of his let me see. I don't know if it's gonna let me, but he pardoned 5 members in his family. New York Times is not gonna let me show this. Pardons family. Let's see. Yeah. So, and people are being critic about that. One thing he did pardon, well, Donald Trump, this was, when his last presidency, he pardoned his daughter, I guess, because he thought they was going to politically come after her. I'm glad they didn't. But, and they probably would have if he wouldn't have pardoned her. Anyway, they had a problem with her working, and she had a couple of businesses. They just had a problem with her, Anyway, so Biden issues preemptive pardons for Trump critics and Biden family members. And then, they mentioned Dr. Fauci. I don't know. Was Liz Cheney pardoned? I'm confused because I keep on saying to serve. The pardons coming in the final hours of Biden's presidency amount to a stunning flex of presidential power that is unprecedented in recent presidential history. They serve to protect several outspoken critics of incoming presidents, including former Republican Representative Liz Cheney, whom Trump vowed retribution against. I'm laughing because some of these, the way they write these things is hilarious to me. This is Biden. He said, my family has been subjected to unrelenting attacks and threats, motivated solely by desire to hurt me, the worst kind of partisan politics. Really, Joe Biden? Really? What were you doing to Donald Trump and his family, or anybody who supported Donald Trump? You bankrupt, what's his name? Rudy Giuliani. And I don't know if Rudy Giuliani deserved to get bankrupt. He had to pay millions of dollars to those two women, and that they claim, he did defamation against these girls, saying, or these ladies saying that they rigged the election or was still in ballots or whatever they were doing. So they found that no, he lied. This is, and he ruined some of their because I guess they have a business in election. So the judge ruled, or the people ruled against Rudy Giuliani, and he had to pay millions to these people. Millions. But anyway, not only him, you got other people that's been in jail because of their association, or they worked with Trump and they couldn't get them to roll over. So that's why they end up going to jail. And it says, unfortunately, I have no reason to believe these attacks will end. That's what he said. Biden's extraordinary decision to announce pardons for multiple family members in his final minutes of president was fueled in part by Trump's public vow to appoint a special prosecutor to go after Biden and his family, according to the source familiar with his thinking. Trump never said that. This is why they be lying, because I remember very vividly Trump said, somebody asked him, hey, are you going to go after, so and so politically? He's basically was like, it's a waste of my time. I got better things to do, like get the country in order. That's basically what he said. Not in verbatim, but he basically said that. So I think they just, he had to pardon him. No, he didn't. Even when individuals have done nothing wrong and will ultimately be exonerated, the mere fact of being investigated or prosecuted can irreparable damages their reputation and finances, the ongoing president said. What the hell did you do to Trump? Like you did the same thing to Donald Trump. They trying to charge Donald Trump with the crime that they just made up. They conjured up, this what is it, falsifying business records. They had these 34 counts and they just conjured up, you couldn't falsify, you falsified business records because you paid Stormy Daniels. What the hell does that got to do with my business records? Even if he did pay Stormy Daniels, and they're not telling you Donald Trump countersued Stormy Daniels and he won $660,000 from Stormy Daniels. This is unreal. And they still prosecuted Donald Trump for this very same thing that Stormy Daniels said this happened. And Donald Trump didn't deny that, maybe they had a relationship. He didn't deny that. He denied paying $150,000 to her. He said, that's some bullshit. I didn't pay her that. So anyway, he countersued and they actually won that lawsuit. He actually won the judge, and this was in a New York court. The judge rendered a judgment of $660,000 to Donald Trump. Anyway, so these are exceptional circumstances, and I can't, not in good conscience, do nothing. Baseless and politically, I'm skipping ahead, you guys. If you want to read the full article, go to CNN Politics. Baseless and politically motivated investigation wreak havoc on the lives, safety, and financial security of targeted individuals and their families. Yeah, we feel you. We feel all this. I think all this is true, but you initiated. You politically persecuted Donald Trump. You did. That's basically what they did. They literally tried to bankrupt Donald Trump only because he decided to run for office again. If Donald Trump wouldn't have ran for office again, we wouldn't have, he would have been okay. We're gonna let him go. We're not prosecuting him on anything. But since he decided not to go away, they prosecuted him. That's basically what happened. Okay, so that's that. Okay, you guys want to read the full article? I'll put it in the chat. That's the full article. Okay, and our last story is about X, not X, but TikTok. Okay, TikTok. I gotta. When I tried to get on TikTok Saturday, and they was like, nope, TikTok has been shut down for the US. You can no longer access TikTok. And I believe, of course, people were freaking out because of this. Where's my home at? No, Chawanne Burns. Hopefully you guys can see this. This is what I received on TikTok. Sorry, TikTok isn't available right now. A law banning TikTok has been enacted in the US. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok for now. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Reinstate TikTok once he takes office. I read that all wrong, but anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So he didn't even take office. It was prior. Sunday he put out a notification saying, hey, we just don't want to ban TikTok. We don't want to do that. This is a statement from TikTok. They said, in agreement with our service providers, TikTok is in the process of restoring service. We thank President Trump for providing the necessary clarity and assurance to our service providers that they will not face no penalties providing TikTok to over 170 million Americans and allowing over 7 million small businesses to thrive. It's a strong stand for First Amendment and against arbitrary censorship. We will work with the President Trump on a long-term solution that keeps TikTok in the United States. So Donald Trump said, hey, I don't want to get rid of TikTok because, a lot of businesses are on TikTok. And that's how American business, some businesses are just on TikTok. Now, I agree with Donald Trump and I disagree with Donald Trump. The parts that I agree on is, yes, a lot of businesses thrive on TikTok. I do. I think, and not only businesses, you got content creators that's the only thing they do is TikTok. So, a lot of jobs, quote unquote, they say content creating is not a real job, but people make a lot of money from it. So I guess it's your job. You're in the entertainment space. So a lot, your monies depend on that. So I agree on that. I think that is important. However, I do not agree that Donald Trump stepped in, only because um, it was like 352 votes to ban TikTok. The Congress in Congress. Then somebody went before Supreme Court. They filed to appeal the decision of Congress with the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court upheld the decision. So that's why I don't really agree with Donald Trump's decision. Now, I guess they're trying to get TikTok to be sold to American company or American person per se, who has enough money to buy TikTok. I'm not for sure. I'm not for sure. I'm not for sure who will have enough money besides Elon Musk. Maybe the one guy that's always interfering with elections, George Soros and his family. But I don't agree with Donald Trump stepping in. But he did, and I believe he's signing an executive order, a temporary executive order, just to keep TikTok open or usable until they find a suitable buyer for TikTok, American buyer for TikTok. So that's that. Let me just pull up this article. And then the CEO of TikTok was at the Trump inauguration. And it's saying on CNN, TikTok is back online, but its ultimate fate in America still lies in Trump's hand. Why did they title that article? Like I said, the CNN liberal media, I don't like this title. It sounds stupid. TikTok is now accessible again in the United States. Just how long that lasts will likely depend on the incoming president. TikTok restored access for American users midday on Sunday after a whirlwind of 14 hours. People were crashing out. When I tell you they were like some big TikTokers crashing out, couldn't believe that TikTok was gone. I guess they thought it was fake and wasn't going to really happen. People were actually crashing out. TikTok credited Trump for bringing the app back after it pledged to sign an executive order to delay the enforcement of the law that had required the app to spin off from its China-based parent company, ByteDance, or be banned Sunday. And they didn't do that. ByteDance is the Chinese part of it. I was fully crying myself to sleep last night. It was so sad, and I felt like I lost a whole community and a job. Influenced Shay Sullivan. He has 1.1 million followers. Now I'm just overjoyed. I'm having the best day. It was definitely a roller coaster. Like I said, I think you have some creators that are just on TikTok. Some businesses are just on TikTok. So I think Donald Trump is looking at it in that perspective, and also national security. But if you guys caught our live show this morning, you can't say, well, China does have our information, and they probably be selling our information and using it against us. So that's one thing. It's a foreign entity. But, you have all these other social media apps that's misusing our information as well. So not only TikTok should, be looked at in a fine-tooth comb, and I think these other apps should be as well. And I don't know if, some of these people, these, what do you call them? Content creators. Most of them are probably real liberal. So are they going to ever thank Donald Trump? Probably not. They probably won't thank Donald Trump. They probably just going to be like, okay, thanks. Okay. Tyrone Price saying Donald Trump made a 90 days extension. We need U.S. citizens to run our own American TikTok. Exactly. He's not looking for a buyer. He wants the U.S. to have 50% stake. But what does that mean, anger mismanagement? He wants the government to control. I don't agree with that either. I don't agree the government should control social media, any news outlets, nothing, none of that. So you want a government ran, that's called socialism or communism. So the government, whoever's in power, they could be like, oh, we're going to censor these people. That sounds like communism. Just like China. No, they need a privately owned company to run TikTok. And why does he want the government to step in? And I'm questioning that too. You trying to bring in communism? You trying to bring in communism to an American, a Democratic Republican ran country? That it doesn't make any sense. But maybe he feels better with the government because he could get subsidies and maybe that's what he's looking at. But no, that's not how we do things in America. I remember not Joe Biden, but Barack Obama, when he bailed out the auto companies. They gave him a lot of shit about that because a lot of people feel like you shouldn't interrupt in business. This is called capitalism. The government has no right to interrupt whatever's going on into the economy. But if it wasn't for Barack, we probably would have had one auto company besides 3 major auto companies. Ford was the only one that didn't take a buyout from the government. Anyway, you guys, that's it for our live stream for today. You want to tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be at it again. I think we're going to talk about Tiffany Henyard. She's been in the hen, clucking away. Tiffany in the hen yard, in the yard, being a hen. So that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. Farouk is saying the U.S. government wants to gather info on U.S. citizens rather than let the Chinese do it. In other words, Americans will be okay with our government spying on Americans. This is baffling to me. That this is crazy because Meta has the same problems. X have the same problems. You're going to tell me they're not misusing our information? Any social media platform, we have the same problems, so it's okay for Americans to do it and not. I mean, I think it's more detrimental for Chinese people, right? China, the Chinese government, but we have these same type of problems in the social media. Anywho, that's all I got to say about that. You guys put it in the chat. Let me know what you think. We will see each other tomorrow. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. I am sending all my good to you. I will talk to you tomorrow.